Welcome back to the belted Galloway Homestead. I've never mentioned this on the channel before, but we've got a 96 Southwind RV. And I do a lot of working on that, and I guess maybe I should have started a channel because I've done a lot of work on this RV. But I haven't, but it does have a generator on it. It's got an Onan Marquis 5000, and it needs serviced. So I've got a real good service manual and an operation manual for it. So if anybody has any questions on a Onan Marquis 5000, let me know. Drop a question, drop a comment. But basically, I'm going to be changing the oil filter. I've done some cross-referencing, so I've got some good cross-references here for you. Changing the air filter here on that. Fuel filter, and spark plugs. Just going to go with a straight small engine SAE 30. I don't run this in the wintertime, and it's only in the summertime when I do run this generator. I noticed it's awfully dirty. I ain't going to be able to clean it the best I can, maybe with a rag, but I've noticed here back on my tandem, I've got a gap. And that's allowing road spray to come across here. So I went down to the truck supply, and I picked up this mud flap. They're made out of nice plastic material. It looks like what was on there OEM wise, but you can see that gap in there from that mud flap, and that road spray is coming up in here and getting on this generator. So I'm also going to look at trying to put the new mud flap in there to prevent that in the future. So if this interests you, that's what we'll be doing in this video. Keep watching. All right, so we'll loosen this up right here. Got the oil draining down there. Next we'll get the oil filter. But we'll let that drain. Maybe we'll do some other work here too. We got to do some spark plugs, the fuel filter, air filter. Might have to get a socket type filter wrench there. I can't get that loosened. So, but good thing to get the oil draining. I did not run this and warm this up. So I'm draining this oil cold. Didn't want to run it here in the shop and get all the fumes. So the OEM filter, you can see it right there, 140-2379. I cross-referenced over to a different brand. So this cross-referenced over to a FleetGard AF26654. I'll leave this all down below. We'll get that put back on. All right, air filter is done. And as I mentioned, I've got a real nice manual. So this is the parts manual for the generator, a BGM, and that's where we just changed out the air filter there. Man, I've got all the parts listed. So that was number 14, 140, 23, 79, and we'll continue on to the other. So the spark plug, number 13, calls for a 167. 0272. That cross-referenced over to a Champion plug that I've used last time. And in the installation part of it, it says spark plug gap 25 thousandths. So I'll be checking that. Even though I find that the gaps are pretty good nowadays on there, but just check those spark plugs before I put them in. All right. Well, the spark plug gap ended up checking perfect. so I didn't have to change anything there. Looks like my oil's done, so I'll be able to get that oil filter here soon. Yeah, a little dirty. So, again, that was a Champion RS17YX, if you're wanting the cross-reference to that. And I always like putting a little anti-seize on my spark plugs, just to be safe, especially if there's an aluminum block involved. Now this is one of those special sockets that's made for spark plugs. It's got the rubber holder in it there, so the spark plug doesn't fall out. An extension wouldn't hurt. There we go. Spark plug back on. Spark plug wire back on. Now the other one is most likely in the back, so I'm going to have to reach in there to grab that one and get her done. All right. All done with the spark plugs. The other one was hard to reach back there, but it wasn't bad. Just had to reach it. So, I can't find my wrench here, so I'm going to have to improvise and get that out there. I think I'm be able to handle that. Let's tighten this back up. This is a pretty nice drain right here. You loosen this up, and it opens up a hole in the bottom for the oil to drain out. That's pretty nice. We'll close this up. There we go. Original Onan oil filter there that I used last time. Now the oil filter, number 4 there, it says it's a 122-0645 if you want to use the OEM part. I thought I had a mobile filter, a 102. It just so happens to be the same filter that my 863 Bobcat takes. So I thought I had one laying around, but I don't. But also cross-reference to a 3614 and a 7575. Had tough time finding oil filters. My Tractor Supply was really low on oil filters, but even though I like mobile, I decided to go with a 3614. That's pretty much all they had in stock. So hopefully that's not the sign of the future on having trouble finding parts to do your maintenance on products. But a little rube around the filter. Quick look here. Looks pretty damn close. Give it a try. Threads feel good. Like it's going to work. All right, I found my socket. Let's get this thing tight. There we go. Comes in handy to have those that fit on the end when you have a restricted access like that. All right, well, I got to use me up a partial of the some old Craftsman oil I had sitting around. What's left here is this fuel filter. I had a very interesting story on this fuel filter. I was a while back having all kinds of troubles trying to find a cross-reference. So on the manual here it says it's the number 42, and then you go over here to number 42 and you look for the G spec, and it's $149.2341. And you look that up, and it is expensive. And again, I don't mind using OEM products, but they have a tendency to take another product and stamp it with OEM markings and then sell it to you for a higher price. So we had a real good person behind the counter at our local Napa years ago. And I went in there and I had this filter in my hand. And I said, I was just taking a chance just to see if I could find a cross-reference on some of these parts. And he told me, he said, that looks just like, I think he said a 55 Chevy fuel filter. He said, hold on here a minute. Let me go back there and grab one. So he knows his numbers. He knows where his parts are. He goes back there, grabs that sucker, brings it out, and it's an exact match to the Onan OEM part. And it was a fuel filter to fit something like a 55 Chevy or something like that. So ever since then, I had a cross-reference. So here's the filter. This one here I bought was a Wix, and it's a 33081, and I might even have another cross-reference by looking that up, but I think I have a Napa part number also that I got from him. But very affordable replacement filter, and like I said, you just got to have that cross-reference and that knowledge, and there you go. Okay, I got that loose. Little dab of sealant there, made for gasoline to go up in there. And that won't need any sealant since it's got a surface there to seal against. And that goes up in there. Let me get that installed. I'll be back. All right, I got everything done here. Air filter, fuel filter, spark plugs, oil. Looking good. So I'm going to start this up so I can get that oil filter filled with oil. Then I can check it again. And then we can look at this, this mud flap. So let's get this thing started. Put it on winter there to give it a little choke. There we go. All right, while that oil is settling, let's get this rim off so we can get a better look in here. Be using my 20-volt DeWalt. Both those things are powerful. They come in really handy. Just about replaced air for me. So much quieter, I ain't got to hear the compressor running. So let me get this thing taken off here and we'll be able to get a better look. There's the puppy. Yeah. Coming to help me. Oh, so I got it off here. Looking real good. There, that's the tandem axle. Done all the brakes on it and stuff. Whew, what a job. I just happen to have some new material here that is roughly the same height So cool, gonna get that installed. Look at that, the whole pattern is almost identical. So yeah, this is kind of like a plastic material. I don't know what kind it is or not, but it's like a mud flat material. It's got a nice texture on it. I use it for different things, so it comes in really handy. So go to a like a big truck, semi truck, dump truck, place that sells parts, and they have these. You can buy them. Nice. Well, that's looking good. I end up having to drill me some new holes anyways. The old ones were just too wallered out or rusted or something. Got me some new stainless steel hardware up in there. And you can see the new mud flap, how much wider it is from the old mud flap. Nice. There's no gap there now to get into the generator. Come over here and look. Get a mud flap covering. I'm not going to get this road debris. Oh, that's terrible. Got my oil topped off. Boy, I looked at the manual again. It said 3.5 quarts. And I think I ended up putting 4 quarts in there. So it said 3.5 with the filter. So you got to watch that. Make sure you top it off right. Well, I'm going to get the tire back on. Call it a day. Put the decorative caps on here. Like I said, it's a 96, 97 Southwind. Got any questions about it? Let me know. Got any comments? All right. Yeah, look at that. Boy, does that look nice. Nice, good coverage and protection in there. So we are going to be in good shape. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Any comments or questions, please leave them below. I love hearing from you. Have a good day.